What's up, folks? It's me, Bob Hollywood, with another episode of Bob's Holly World. This time I'm doing a retro review. The figure you see in front of you is a Todd McFarlane Spawn Ultra Action figure. His name is Renegade. He is a Spawn. He's not the Al Simmons Spawn, but he is a Spawn, obviously from a much earlier time in American history. This thing is from the year of our Lord, 1997. So this thing is 21 years old. And if it weren't for the fact that he was a Native American, and I want to put him in my summer curio display, he would stay in the package. The summer's almost over, but we still got a little under a month left of summer. So I'm going to get him in there with some other Native American characters and other American figures. And just looking at the package, you can clearly see him from every angle. I did not pay $8 for him. So she had him initially, but I ended up buying him for $5. I bought this from a friend of mine. I call her Debbie the Plug because I bought a lot of figures from her. A lot of 90s figures and a good amount of loose, more recent figures. This bubble packaging is what I love about 90s figures. You don't see this too often. It's not unheard of today, but you don't see it too often. You see mostly in a little box, and it's crazy. And this is from Series 8 of Todd McFarlane Spawn, so it's hard to see. It's a lot of figures. I'm going to try to show you. You get Renegade, there's Rotar, Curse of the Spawn, Saber, which is the Buffalo, which is cool. Maybe it's from the same time period as Renegade, Gatekeeper, and Gravedigger. I don't have an interest in any of those figures. The Curse of the Spawn looks cool, and maybe Saber, but from what I can look at, or the McFarlane figures, the bigger figures weren't really that articulate. A lot of these things are like statues. Even though he clearly has a lot of articulation, he's a statue. I mean, it shows us Series 7 of Spawn, which you got Scourge, Crutch, Twitch and Sam, which I have, Spawn 3, which I was tempted to buy from Debbie because he's beefier than the normal Spawn, but other than that, they're the same. The Mangler, Nobody, and Zombie Spawn. Don't care for any of those except for Twitch and Sam, which I have, and then maybe Spawn 3 one day down the line. Underneath that, there's Total Chaos, which is another McFarlane brand, another comic book, I imagine. There's Cornboy, Smuggler, Blitz, Quartz, Brain Drain, and Poacher. Are all those Poachers about it? It's just a giant elephant. It makes me think of an enemy on Dark Souls 2? Dark Souls 2, I think it is. And at the bottom, we have Series 1 of the Monsters. When you get Dracula's playset, Hunchback playset, Frankenstein playset, and Werewolf playset. Doubt I'll be getting any of them. Again, this is 21 years later. They're probably very expensive. Renegade does come with a little card that you can cut out of the cardboard, and it has his bio. I'm going to read it. A Spawn can exist in many forms throughout the tracks of time. Renegade was chosen to be a Spawn because of his superior battle skills with edged weapons and his bow and arrow. Never far from his bald eagle, Renegade travels across the land in search of his nemesis Saber, vowing to seek revenge for Saber's senseless destruction of the land. Okay, so Saber is this buffalo. So that makes sense. He has a Native American theme enemy. It says ages 13 and up. So this is for the mature collector in a way. America's best-selling comic. And it gives you some other information. I'm sorry. It definitely says small parts not suitable for under 3. I'm going to go ahead and cut to me having this guy open. So bear with me. Be right back. Alright, folks. I am back. To continue Renegade's review. He's out of the packaging. One thing I noticed about this figure is he's left-handed. And why I say that is because he has little pegs in his hands to hold his weapons, and his hatchet clearly goes in his left hand. So that's neat. You don't see that too often. Have his headdress on. I'm going to take that off and take all of his accessories off, put them to the side. Have his shield on. Take that off. His hatchet, which he's holding with a peg. Take that off. And I have his knife in his pocket. His knife goes in his right hand. That peg holds a little bit smaller for the knife, but I'm not going to worry with it. And it's also on his right side. So there's his bow and arrow, which will go in his left hand based on the peg. Put those aside. He has an eagle. I could not get the eagle to sit on his shoulder. I think it's supposed to be on this, but it's not happening. And his arrows go in his back like that. I don't know if they would go down. I don't know. I don't use bows and arrows. Just want to talk about this figure. He is gritty, kind of, on his flesh. His boots aren't. His boots are more sheeny, how they look. His cloth, his loincloth moves. It's not made out of cloth. It's also made out of plastic. I'm not going to mess with this dude's head. It rotates, but we know how McFarlane toys do. Clear my workspace off. His headdress had a little hair on it, but you know how McFarlane toys are. So he doesn't have any. His shoulders do this. The shoulder particularly can't go any higher because of that. This shoulder, complete rotation. Elbows, not 90 degrees. Can't do 90 degrees with his elbow. Only one elbow bends. That's not unheard of. That one is better than some Swan figures. His legs, his legs go up that high, that far back. His knees bend. Knees bend pretty well, 90 degrees, I want to say. Wrist swivel. Nothing on the feet, nothing below the knees. Again, this toy is from 97, 21 years ago. I knew that wasn't going to be a thing with a McFarlane toy, but I like him. I do like him. That's how he stands. It kind of looks like, I don't know if I'm going to catch some flack from this, but it almost looks like he has Deadpool on his crotch. I know it's the Spawn marking, but I'm just saying, I can't be the first person to notice that. Very, very great detail. Like, he's got like more abs than 10 people combined. Paint on him is good. His boots, I'm really impressed with these moccasin boots, man. He's got like knee pads on them, and he's also got like these frills, and the boots just look cool. He looks intimidating. He's got this like the Chatterer from Hellraiser kind of mouth, because it's all flesh. So if he's wearing a suit, it looks like skin, you know. If he's wearing the suit that Spawn typically wears, it looks like flesh. I like that his name is Renegade. His name's not Renegade. Spawn on the packaging is Renegade. So Spawn is Spawn. He is one of many Spawns, but he's named after what they are. And then the Spawn I'm going to compare this guy has a name. Let me get this guy's height first. About 6.5 inches. So yeah, I'm going to compare him to Medieval Spawn. Medieval Spawn's a lot shorter. But yeah, Medieval Spawn is named Medieval Spawn. And this guy's just named Renegade. He's not named Renegade Spawn. Yeah, he's cool, man. This dude's cool. I'm not going to rate retro figures, but this dude is pretty neat. Like, the painting could be a little bit better in spots on the skin, but the paint design, man, he's even got the Spawn logo stuff on his skin. So this dude's badass. This dude is totally badass. He's hovering over Medieval Spawn, one of my favorite figures. And he's got more articulation than Medieval Spawn. Medieval Spawn. So yeah, nothing bad to say about this guy. I mean, his accessories could be a little bit challenging, but this guy's just going to be displayed in a case. So that's that. Let me get Medieval Spawn out of here so you can know who the focus is on. That's that, guys. I appreciate it. You guys keep commenting, liking, watching, subscribing. It is greatly appreciated. Squaw. Yeah, and then one day we'll be squad. Oh, that bird's going to break in time. Woo! All right, guys. Thanks for joining me today. Enjoy the rest of your day.